Welcome everybody. Yes, it's Friday. Friday, not any Friday. It is live trading day with us, the market sniper, the crypto sniper, the reset sniper. That's right. Don't forget, you can join us for an hour and a half as some of the most important data comes in. First Friday of the new month, first Friday of the new quarter. Oh, triple witching might even apply. Who knows if there's some options to end here. I'm not too sure actually. Have to check, but it's end of the quarter of quarter one. You are now on the first Friday of quarter two. This is a significant day because new data from the chief Satan will come out. That's right. Lies, damn lies, and then statistics. And that will be the Fed will give us some numbers. In fact, it's not the Fed. It's the Bureau of Labor Statistics are going to tell us what the payrolls number is for those that are not engaged in farming, which is most of you. I should suggest, in fact, we should go the other way. We should all become farmers right now. We should bump that number up a little bit. A few less investment banker and analysts of Tesla and it's all the other stuff. But anyway, that's just me mumbling. We're going to be talking to you about Bitcoin and why potentially, even though it's selling off right now, potentially it could be in a setup to reassert if the numbers come out well today. Sometimes you get a little bit of nerves just before the numbers. The insiders tend to make their move a day or two before, and then you get a little bit of twitchiness and uncertainty just before, and then suddenly we get the news. You've never had it so good. The economy's booming. What do you mean? In fact, never before have you been so separated by economy. In other words, we have the billionaire class economy, the world of Tesla and chips and AI, the magnificent seven fast becoming the magnificent four as we get ever narrower in our bull market scenario. And of course, that's getting all the status money as Granny Yoda Yellen writes up 7 trillion for quarter four of 2023. That's right. I wonder how much new treasuries will have been issued for quarter one of 2024. Aren't you just waiting for that number? That's new fiat that is absolutely proliferating and thereby collapsing in value. That's right. The greater you add, if the pizza ain't getting bigger, it just means you're making many more slices of the same cutting pie. People are going to get ever smaller slices. Their money is being devalued. There are monkeys on grease pole. That's what's happening. And of course, the new parallel system that showed up at just the right time, conveniently from '09. That's right, with the benevolent Satoshi Nakamoto that was here to save all of us from the dark state and everything, and has nothing to do with creating a parallel system at all, as the existing one is clearly dying. It's just a coincidence, I assure you. And of course, as your friendly megacorp sucking all the value out of US, that's right, BlackRock, that will become owners of everything and you will own nothing in a corporatocracy controlled by a certain cult. That's right, those people are now the guys responsible for coin go up on Bitcoin. So in that worldview, we say, is it truly going to be your savior? Maybe not, but coin go up is money go up, and wealth is wealth, and better to be a rich slave than a poor one, I always say. Of course, you should also have multiple horses in any race rather than the fastest one. They just could have an off day. It could rely on electronic networks. It could rely on internet or energy. That's kind of useful and convenient at times and kind of inconvenient at others. So don't forget, multiple horses will save you. Gold and silver, physically held. And cash, I'm afraid to say. These are very interesting weekend coming up, by the way. I feel there's a cultic flavor to the weekend going right the way through to Monday, the 8th of April. So could we get a major deflationary crash on all the things I've just mentioned? It is also possible. But let's go to the charts right now and have a look at Bitcoin as it surged up and is now doing a pretty good job of dipping back down on this, the most volatile likely day of the month. Here we go, and you're with me now. This is a chart I shared a bit ago, and I left the draw of what I thought would happen, an upward leg we were expecting from here. And we did get it, but it's kind of given it back real quick on the morning, wait for it, of the expected numbers on what's likely to be a very volatile day. Not the day for random guessing the number and chasing in on the very first move. It can go both up and down. And when I warn you of the data, it will have an effect on Bitcoin. Many people in crypto get really frustrated that I mention things like gold, silver, Granny Yoda, and the proliferation of fiat because they just want to know crypto go up. They don't want to learn. Well, in actual fact, crypto is absolutely reliant on the old system money coming into the new system. Because otherwise, it's a lot of beautiful offices and residential places built by the Chinese with nobody living in them. It's ghost towns. So you need the exodus from the old into the new so that the new can start taking shape and become the ecosystem. Isn't that the lovely phrase that you love? The ecosystem, the Bitcoin ecosystem, the crypto ecosystem. Don't we love that? The little ecosystem, the little bacteria and fishies coming out the water, turning into mammals. It's so beautiful. It feels like, the creation, creationism, the ecosystem. Anyway, so we're going to have a look right here. What's going down? We're going to have a look at it for today. The day that is Friday. It's the weekend. I used to live for my weekends. It's terrible. You wish 5 days of your life away for 2. That is a terrible situation to be. You can change that, by the way, instead of wishing your life away. Oh my God, I just don't do any living. By the way, I was swimming in crystal clear sea this morning, getting my little sun up routine, having a little chase the little fishies underwater, a little bit of mini free diving for the getting a little bit older crowd. Riding my e-bike downhill. You could be doing all these things too. All you have to do is get yourself out of the corporate world. You have to get out of the corporate world and you have to get independently capable and wealthy and judicious use of light leverage and smart investing can get you to that point. So if you're watching that, don't forget, that can all come to the rescue. But we're going to talk more about Bitcoin, but first we have to look at the data that's coming in today. Let me get rid of the rest of the week and go just to daily. We want just the day, please, just the day. Today. Today is the greatest. That's right. I think of Smashing Pumpkins, that was. Anyway, here we go. USD significant. Big news today. Average hourly earnings. So the expectation is average hourly earnings should go up 0.3%. Now, that is an improvement on the previous, that was 0.1. And then we're expecting a non-farm number, which is a lovely little fudge number that can be tweaked and twerked. And don't forget the amount of times they'll restate it much lower later on after getting a nice little, woohoo, look how strong we are number when everybody's watching. And then 3 months later, knock that one down a little bit so we can get a little bit closer back to the truth. We're expecting 212, previously 275. That's an implied slowdown, obviously. And then unemployment rate 3.9%. Don't forget there's a lot of new American citizens being brought into play, flown in from the south. That's right, being housed by BlackRock in New York. That's right, buying up all the houses. Good money, good returns, I hear. And good old Yellen writing checks for you as well. She's not shy. She wrote 7 trillion of new debt the previous quarter. In fact, the end of last year. So what's this all mean? What do we need for Bitcoin to go up, in our opinion? Well, the official narrative is if the outlook for rates becomes more benign, in other words, there's going to be a cut. This is what they're talking about. They're expecting it in June, 1 cut and maybe 3 over the year. That's the sort of expectation. As we have continued to say, less, and you're going to stay the level you're at for longer because actually there's a lot of inflation around. If you followed our other work, you would know that we have 3 ETFs that are in upside breakups, all involving commodities. That's going to see copper get more expensive, shipping getting more expensive, mines and miners all suggesting higher side. This is going to push inflation up. So the official narrative is that Bitcoin and gold only can really go up on a slowing interest rate environment where it's coming in less. However, as you've probably seen, or as I'm going to tell you, gold and silver have gone up really strongly, despite the assessment that you have positive real interest rates. That means the inflation number here officially, note the waggly fingers officially, and the current interest rate. That means supposedly you're getting a real return just by holding fiat. Whilst Bitcoin doesn't pay you any interest, gold doesn't pay you any interest, neither does silver. So the official narrative is that you're in an environment where the yield has a value. And if that yield's going to be coming down on fiat, that's good for Bitcoin, gold, and everything, because then the difference between what they're not paying you, the gold, the Bitcoin in interest, is far less, the opportunity cost. So that's the official narrative. I say the official narrative because A, we don't believe the inflation rate. We actually think the inflation rate is higher than the interest rate. So actually they are devaluing their debt that they're creating at ever faster way. How do they do that? They lie to you. Simple. They lie to you. They use tricks. In fact, by legacy measures of 1970, you would probably be in double digits. If you have a look at shadow stats, that is on the 1980s number. That was during Ronald Reagan's era. You're again thereabouts as well in double digits. So in actual fact, the interest rate isn't. And that is the reason why I think gold is going up and silver is going up. Apart from central banks are buying it. Central banks are buying it. They don't want dollars in treasuries when you can just steal it. Joe Biden did the biggest gift for the gold, silver, and potentially the Bitcoin families by threatening the agnostic nature of treasury bills. Well, he didn't really do it. He barely knows what's going on, but the people behind him did it, and it destroys the trust in the dollar, the SWIFT system, and holding treasuries. Guess what everyone will be doing? Every other nation will say, gee, I don't want to be like Russia and lose 300 billion of access to money. I guess I'll let those treasuries go and I'll buy some metals. That's what central banks do. They can't yet go full hog into Bitcoin, but some might, and high net worth people might. So this is why it's going to be a very, very interesting day today. So we go back to the Bitcoin slide. Now, some of you might say, but clearly this upside is wrong because it's already been taken back by that great sell-off. So I remind you what we say is there is such a concept as complexity. You will also note that you sold off from your ultimate high, which was in and around 74, and you traded down to 61. And there were plenty of rallies during that period. Plenty of rallies. That's called complexity. You see that? That's all a down leg in truth from there to there. But on the way, you bounce. So this could indeed be just a sell-off in a part and parcel of doing that scenario that we are describing. And if gold can go up and silver can go up and people are either not believing the interest rate, that's why they're buying gold, or they're petrified of owning treasuries because of confiscation, that's why they're selling treasuries, buying gold and silver, the central banks, or something else could be happening. They don't trust the debt fiat system anymore at all, at any level, and they've decided to get out of it into physical things that they can hold. So those people, if that's the reason, that's less likely to end up into Bitcoin. They want to hold their grubby mitts on their own wealth. They want it in their own country, in their own vaults. Then they know they have it. So there's a couple of reasons why gold is going up in an environment where it's not supposed to. In fact, there was a good Zero Hedge article on that. Gold is the king of anti-fiat. So that's why this can help Bitcoin. Bitcoin will go faster, however, faster horse. Faster horse goes faster, smaller market cap. Gold is 10 plus trillion, maybe 14, I don't know, somewhere between there. And Bitcoin's 1.3. Percentage gains, number go up, wealth build. Hey, take Bitcoin. In due course, some of the alts maybe will move even faster still. We'll wait for those by looking at those alts versus Bitcoin. I'm watching your comments as you come in. Someone's going, coffee. Yes, he doesn't mean I've had my coffee. He knows by now I don't drink coffee, I don't drink alcohol. I'm a clean skin. I'm living forever. He knows that we're talking about the Arabica coffee that is mooning, of course, on a beautiful HVF, which is part and parcel of the inflation trade, which is part and parcel all the way coming back to Bitcoin. Because if coffee's going up, cocoa's going up, that's Arabica coffee, Robusta coffee, it's both beans. If those are going up, silver's going up, gold's going up, and of course, shipping is getting more expensive, oil's going up, oil exploration ETFs are going up, everything's going up. It either means they all suddenly decided to wake up recently, or maybe the money in terms of which they're being valued is getting devalued to such an extent of parabola that owning physical things is the only way you keep your value. You wonder why you got an equity boom. It's not because the economy is great. The economy for you is terrible. We have a twisted balloon. The dirty little clown making something for your kids thinks it's a dog. He's twisted the balloon in half, and the one is not getting much air and the other one is getting all the wealth. The stated expenditure is going to the Magnificent Seven for building the surveillance finance system that is weaponed against you. That's right. And Bitcoin, for now, will help you in terms of building wealth. Do not have outlandish perceptions of how it's going to give you freedom and privacy. So let's see some of your comments. Enjoying the community and training. Good job, Francis, says Jim. Hey, that's great, Jim. Thanks for jumping on and saying it. XRP news yesterday. Yes, there was some XRP news yesterday, and it quickly dumped after it had its little pump in its usual spineless jellyfish fashion. But I say, it is coming. It is coming round the mountain when he comes. Boy, it's a big mountain though. Yes, so many people suffering from fatigue. Trust me, if you were in the silver, you would know market, you'd know real fatigue. But we do in fact have on the daily, you can see this selling off possibly worse than Bitcoin after this little bit of a surge. You can see the key level at 58. We're probably going to, this looks a bit, we felt all along that there could be one more downturn here. This all looks a little bit head and shoulder-ish. So there could be a warning in here for XRP, and it might be showing us in all crypto. You wanted to get out there and it's coming down. But at the same breath, if that topping out doesn't turn into something that drags you a lot lower, in due course, we have the expectations of an upside on XRP. We've spoken about this on the daily. It can come quite some way lower. It can come quite some way lower and still be a valid setup, providing it doesn't run that level. What is that level, you say? It's just above the 48, around about 48 and a bit cents. We can get it to you more exactly, but we are awaiting potentially an upside break when that all becomes good again. 48 and a half, by the way, that low, to give you a value. So here we go. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. So that is still potentially on, even though you're seeing XRP selling off. That squeeze on a daily. And as we've said before in updates, you will get unfiltered, unbiased, truly truth-focused analysis on our channel in the premium area, regular updates by me personally with video, audio to high standard, explaining exactly what I'm seeing today, what views I'm changing, flexing, adjusting, trimming, how we add size, where the entries are, where the stops are, where the potential slowdown points are, and where the ultimate targets are, whether there's overperformance or not. That is a lot of detail for being able to trade, and you will learn and understand why I say that, because we are not a trade feed. We are so much more than that. We want you to embrace and conceptually grasp this, internalize it and make it your own, then apply it for yourself in the markets and continue to see that is happening and that it is working in your favor on an ongoing basis. As a probability-based system, it is never a 100% system. Okay. Also, by the way, if you want to have a taste, today's your day. Live trading day with us. This is something I do every month with the community and our self-study group of people. They get 100% access to that. We go through the markets, and you can click the link shared in the chat right now to join us for a paltry $195 for one session, or buy 3 for the price of 2. How many fingers was that? Yeah, right, roll. 3 for the price of 2, and have 3 months of access to all 3 sessions. Exactly what we think, what we're looking at. So you can get a sneak peek. Is it the kind of thing you would want on an ongoing basis, on a greater level? All of that, click the link in the chat right now and join for more. Anyway, so XRP, still in the game, still in the hunt. The invalidation of this daily setup is at the 48.5 cents. and it can mess around a little bit longer. It could go lower first, which is why possibly Bitcoin, going back to Bitcoin, the god market of crypto, so gold, the god market of anti-fiats, by the way, so the gold-silver ratio truly hit its high as the bonds were hitting their all-time high, which of course is a negative thing for gold and silver. So it's the antithesis of the debt markets. If we have a little look here and we take all our sexy draws off, this has been a great bull since 16,000, all the way up, moderate pullbacks along the way, little bit choppy here. There is a small possibility, however, if we had exceptional activity, or an unbelievable set of numbers here that could upset the market. Say the economy was super strong and there's no unemployment, etc., that could lead to, hey, longer period of current level of rates, potentially less cuts than is already baked into the price, and you could in fact get a sell-off. It could go here. It could happen in a squeeze. When you're wrong, you're going to be 180 degrees wrong. We're going to get a momentous, high, impulsive move to the upside, and if you're wrong, it's obviously to the downside. It's not going to just churn and oscillate in the range. So that is typically what happens. But our expectation, macro bull. Our expectation is macro bull. In other words, you've only just run on the bigger time frames. Remember this, on the bigger time frames, you've only just run the all-time high that was 69. So I'm going to pull this through, and that makes it quite early doors bull. I want to highlight where you were equivalently. That was your 20K high. That was there. You can see you had a red candle day and a red candle day with quite deep dips. This is on a bigger time frame. We are on the weekly. And you can see that you had dips within there. And you can see here, little shooting star and hammer. After running this, we expected a bit of pullback. And you've got a little red candle. Still early to say, because that week is only finished at the end of probably Sunday, I think. So you've got a couple more days where it could get livened up, a couple more days. So we'll see how that candle finishes. But it's absolutely normal for you to face that. So we bias generally bull. And we will see if anything happens on the lower time frame that changes that. Good. Let's see a couple of your questions and then we'll call time. Can't argue with that entry, says Aaron White. Yeah, some silver if you haven't yet. It's in the middle of the range of the last 4 years. Yep, so it's a good entry. I think it is for silver buyers. After hitting 700 target, Bitcoin Cash looks like it wants to overperform. So somebody talking about Cash, the other one, it has come back into the top 15 last time I saw. It doesn't feel like a flavor of the month. It does feel like it's something that's gone kind of quiet generally. Where is it nowadays? Bitcoin Cash number 14. You've certainly lost Litecoin along the way. It slipped even further. It's at 19. So I remember when those were top 10 tokens, but there points to some recovery maybe to Cash. I'm not sure it's going to get the zeal, the zip of the new projects. Crypto makes me nauseous. Why would you think crypto would go up when precious metals hadn't been going up first? Makes no sense whatsoever. Yep, okay. XRP, someone asking about. Interesting XRP news. Yes, JM, good. Let's see any other questions. Okay, good. It seems like most of you are happy and ready. Join us. Starting, what's it? It's at my 2 o'clock, which is we almost 1. We got 15 minutes to 1, so it's within an hour we start. Come and join us. We're going to go through a lot of good quality HVF setups. We've given quite a bit away for people to trade their way into our community if it works. Not that you should be over leveraged. Please watch your sizing. Please remember, volatility occurs on data days. And the first move it takes on the data isn't the last move. There's a couple of points of data. And initially, sometimes there's a few seconds in between them. So you could get a really good average hourly earnings number and then a lot weaker than expected actual number here and then a big unemployment number. So let the data come out. Don't chase. That's a gamble. Setups are your friend. Probabilities, volatility compressions with subsequent expansions, and the expansions may be happening today. We will see how Bitcoin reacts. Thank you for coming on. We will catch you later, and you will be joining us for an hour and a half, just to be clear. Traditional markets, plenty of great setups that you can trade, and then a short break followed by an hour and a half of just pure crypto, including Bitcoin, including the alts, including Ethereum we haven't mentioned. We'll go back past in more detail in XRP. Solana, who's the big flyer actually? As we're signing off, who's the big flyer right now today, on the day? The hourly ones, nah, not too much. Maker, not too many of the big caps. Tether. Okay, so a little bit defensive going into the number. The last 24 hours, any big names? Near's doing okay at 7%. That's in the top 20. Monero did a 3%, but it slipped to 52. I remember when Monero was top 10 materials, feels like ages. Toncoin at 11. It's done 1%, and Ethereum 1% in the last 24 hours. The 7 days might be a little bit better. Bitcoin Cash is the biggest name in the 7 days, 23%. Litecoin 5 over the 7 day. I don't know why it comes in before Mantle and all the others. So the last week being a tiny bit dull. Remember, trading day right now, big inflection points happen on big data days. Crypto been a bit stale now, needed a time to refresh. Is it about to pivot back long? We'll be the first to tell you if you click that link below. Until next time, catch you later. Enjoy yourselves, get out, get fresh air, get off the computers, enjoy your weekends, get sun, sea and surf, good health, fine food, and we'll catch you again soon. Thanks for watching.